An easy win for building relationships is to make the most of the technology and software available to you, designed for this exact task. And my favorite one is one of the most basic, using a calendar. We as humans naturally like people who remember things about us. It means they're paying attention, they care about us in particular, and we stay in their mind even when we're not directly speaking. It's a huge compliment. So, an easy way to score big relationship points with your client is to simply record those important dates and then put them in your calendar with an automatic reminder on the day it happens. Write down their birthdays. Write down religious festivals and holidays that you know they celebrate. Write down when they start their new job if they've just got a promotion. Write down any date that you think might be significant to them and then add it to your calendar. It could be work, it could be personal, as long as you think they'll appreciate it. But this is easy. You do nothing after you've set that calendar. And then one day, your calendar will ping and it will be a free conversation starter with your prospect, a gift from your past self. Then go one step further if you really want to go that extra mile. Don't wait for them to mention it. Consider the homework we've already done on them. Are they into any particular sports teams? If so, put that into a search engine and find the significant dates like big matches or cup finals. Do they have any hobbies like skiing? If so, note when the ski season begins and then drop them a message to ask what their plans are. This can all be found with a quick social media search or by noting anything they've mentioned in passing. Now, what do we do when that reminder goes off? We don't only sell. This is for relationship building purposes only. This is just to get in touch by phone, email, whatever, and let them know we'd thought of them. And to maybe find out another piece of information about them that could help solidify our relationship further. Let's say you have a customer you know celebrates Ramadan. Don't call them saying, Ramadan Mubarak, can I talk to you about our new service? Call them and say, Ramadan Mubarak, and any normal conversation around that holiday that you'd have with a friend. If they ask about new products, tell them. If they present a problem, help them with it. If there's a time pressure to tell them about it, like an active promotion, then maybe tell them. But we want in future for their phone to ring and they see your name and think, oh great, Miles is calling to chat again. Not, oh great, Miles is calling to sell again. Staying on the theme of setting timers, this one may require some specialist software, but it's a great way to help you not lose the deal when you're juggling so many. It's by watching for deals going rotten. Now, this is a phrase used in the sales industry to describe what happens when you don't touch a deal or speak to a prospect for a long time. Just like food, if it's left on the side for too long, it goes rotten and then you can't eat it. That's equal to if you leave a prospect for too long without contact. Then they start to forget about you, they start to speak to your competitors, and the urgency and need slowly disappears. But this one is a bit harder than setting calendar reminders. You could set a few-week timer every time you speak to your prospects, but then you'll be spending so much time setting timers that you won't be making those all-important calls. And that's where software comes in. I've created a downloadable for this course containing a list of sales CRM softwares that have that functionality and I would recommend myself. In those tools, every time you add a note to that contact or deal, such as a call, an email, or a meeting, it resets the timer. You can often set how long you want that timer to be for, but when it hits the end of that timer, it labels the deal or contact as rotten. Some also label it as going rotten when you're approaching that deadline. And then you need to get in touch with that person as soon as possible to keep the relationship fresh. This is entirely up to you to decide how long you want that going rotten timer to be for. In some markets, it could be a few days. In others, it could be a few months. For me, I had mine set on 2 weeks for going rotten and then 1 month for gone rotten. The final thing on using software, tools, and automation to your advantage is simply a reminder to document everything. I've known salespeople in the past to hold everything in their heads. Ask them about any customer, and they'll be able to tell you who else works there, where they're based, who they report to, when their contract ends, what their wife's name is, what their dog's name is, what football team they support. They might even know what they had for breakfast this morning. But that's rare. It's a talent in itself, and that has to be admired. But for most people, including myself, we cannot do it. So I remove as much mental effort as possible and I just keep notes. Any CRM worth its money has a good search function. So if you wanted to quickly find out who else works there, where they're based, who they report to, when their contract ends, what their wife's name is, or what their dog's name is, or what football team they support, and so on, then you can just search for it and find it. You don't need to hold anything in your head. You just look at your phone and boom, there it is. However, in the world of computer science, there's a concept called garbage in, garbage out, also known as GIGO. This is to say that if you put in flawed, incorrect, or poor data into a computer system, you'll only get flawed, incorrect, or poor data out. So the same concept applies to your CRM. Not keeping it organized, not keeping it clean, or not even making notes at all, then you won't be able to find the information you need when you need it most. So keep notes. Record anything you deem important and you might want later on. Keep your notes uniform and try to record the same information about all of your prospects. Keep to the basics: name, role, phone number, line manager, and so on. But if you like dogs, make sure you always ask if they have a dog and then record the name and breed and so on. Or if you like sports, make sure you always ask about sport and record their answer, and so on. Even document funny moments or inside jokes to reference them later on.